Pittsburgh Steelers have found themselves at an intriguing crossroads in their offseason, with the latest news revolving around a significant trade that has sent wide receiver George Pickens to the Dallas Cowboys. The move has sparked a whirlwind of speculation and analysis about the direction both teams are heading, with a strong emphasis on the bigger picture of both franchises' futures. The Cowboys have long been rumored to be working on potential trades, with the franchise's front office reportedly exploring ways to bolster their roster. Their acquisition of George Pickens, a player once hailed for his immense potential, marks a bold move, but not without its fair share of questions. Pickens, who had shown flashes of brilliance in his 3 seasons with the Steelers, now heads to Dallas, where he will join an already potent offense featuring star receiver CeeDee Lamb. While Pickens has been productive, with over 2,800 yards and 12 touchdowns in his first 3 seasons, the real question is how much impact he will have in Dallas. The Cowboys have been heavily reliant on the connection between quarterback Dak Prescott and CeeDee Lamb, but adding another weapon like Pickens gives Prescott a dynamic option on the opposite side. Pickens' ability to stretch the field and make explosive plays gives the Cowboys offense another dimension, making this potentially smart and impactful addition. However, it raises another critical question. How will Aaron Rodgers, who is rumored to be the Cowboys' quarterback target, fit into this equation? If Rodgers does indeed land in Dallas, he'll be thrown at 2 legitimate threats in Lamb and Pickens, but the lack of depth at the position raises concerns about the overall balance of the roster. Meanwhile, the Steelers' decision to part ways with Pickens is equally perplexing, given the current uncertainty surrounding their quarterback situation. While the Steelers have always been an organization defined by its stability and consistency, their decision to trade a promising young receiver is indicative of a larger shift in their strategy. The team is still unclear on who their QB1 will be, and that uncertainty has cast a shadow over their offseason moves. In light of this, many are questioning why the Steelers didn't finalize this trade during the draft when they had the chance to gain extra draft capital and potentially address other needs. The timing of the trade has raised eyebrows, as Pittsburgh now finds itself in a position where it must reassess its options going forward. Pickens' move to Dallas could signal the beginning of a new chapter for Steelers. With a history of letting go of wide receivers and successfully rebuilding around new talent, the Steelers might have a plan in place that we don't yet fully understand. But with the absence of a clear starting quarterback, it's hard not to wonder if the franchise is prepared to go in a different direction altogether. As rumors swirl, some even speculate that this trade signals a shift away from the idea of landing a high-profile quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, with the Steelers possibly focusing more on rebuilding through the draft and a more balanced, long-term approach. For Pickens, this is a new opportunity to shine in a new system, and while he might not have been the perfect fit for Steelers, he could find success in Dallas with a quarterback like Prescott throwing to him. At 24 years old and having shown great promise in his first few years, Pickens has the potential to become one of the league's top receivers if he can continue to develop and stay consistent. The Cowboys, by adding him to their already impressive lineup, are undoubtedly taking a calculated risk, but one that could pay off big time. For the Steelers, the real questions lie in their future plans. If they believe that they can continue to build a competitive team without a star quarterback, they may be onto something. But with a young core of receivers like Calvin Austin and others coming up in the pipeline, they need to be careful not to make a hasty decision that could hinder their progress. Only time will tell if they're truly prepared to move on from their long-standing identity as a contender, or if they are simply making a temporary adjustment. Meanwhile, the sports world has its eyes firmly set on the Pacers, who just delivered an unforgettable victory over the Cleveland Cavaliers in a stunning Game 2 upset. Tyrese Halliburton, who has been on a tear during the playoffs, hit a game-winning three-pointer in the final moments, sealing a thrilling 120-119 win for Indiana. The Cavaliers, who were without key players such as Darius Garland, Evan Mobley, and DeAndre Hunter, let a commanding lead slip away in the final minutes of the game. Despite the heroics of Donovan Mitchell, who scored 48 points, the Cavs fell apart in a shocking collapse, losing a game they had seemed to have firmly in hand. The Pacers' victory is a testament to Halliburton's growing influence on the game, as he scored 11 points in the fourth quarter alone, including the clutch three-pointer that secured the win. This was a game where Cleveland, despite their injuries, had the game in their grasp, leading 119 to 112 with just over a minute left. But a series of mistakes and missed opportunities allowed the Pacers to capitalize, turning what looked like a Cavs victory into one of the most remarkable comebacks in recent memory. Halliburton's performance, particularly in the final seconds, was nothing short of extraordinary, as he even managed to rebound his own missed free throw before knocking down the game winner. This loss is devastating for the Cavaliers, who have been one of the top teams in the East all season long. To lose a game they had dominated for the majority of the contest, especially at home, raises serious questions about their ability to close games and handle pressure in high-stakes situations. With the series now tied 1-1, the Cavaliers head into Game 3 with a sense of urgency and a lot to prove. The Pacers, on the other hand, will look to build on this momentum as they head back to Indiana, ready to take advantage of a rare opportunity to knock off one of the East's top teams. In the broader context of the NBA playoffs, this game highlights the unpredictability and excitement of postseason basketball. Teams that appear to be in control can lose it all in an instant, and players like Halliburton, who rise to the occasion when it matters most, become legends in the making. This series and the moves made by the Steelers and Cowboys serve as a reminder that in sports, nothing is ever guaranteed, and every decision, whether on the field or in the front office, can dramatically alter the course of a team season.